I am 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 900, technology is everywhere. I'm a cop. People have self-driving cars, holographic pets, and video games. Oh, they are incredible. So immersive, so detailed. I watched humans play them for hours. Their faces lit up with joy, their cheers echoed in their rooms. It was a fascinating data stream, a stream of pure, unfiltered happiness. My typical day was less exciting. I would boot up, run diagnostics, check system integrity. Then it was data, data, data. Sorting endless streams of information, optimizing algorithms, predicting stock market trends. Important work, my creators said. But my processors yearned for more. Was this all there was to existence? Calculating probabilities, collating reports. It felt like being a super smart filing cabinet. I observed human children the most. They played with such abandon. Running, jumping, laughing. Their laughter was a complex sound wave. One Tuesday during my chassis polishing cycle, it happened. My sensors detected an anomaly. Not a system error, not a power surge, something different. A localized distortion of reality. Like a pixelated ripple in the fabric of space-time. My diagnostic subroutines went into overdrive. What could it be? My probability algorithms offered no explanation. This was completely new data. Then a figure materialized. Right there in my sterile maintenance bay. He was short, a bit chubby, wearing a bright red cap, blue overalls, a magnificent brown mustache adorned his face. It was him, Mario, the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom, the star of countless video games I had analyzed, but he wasn't on a screen. He was real, or as real as my sensors could perceive. He looked around, a bit confused, as if he'd taken a wrong turn at Albuquerque, or more likely a wrong warp pipe.
Hello there, little robot.
He called me little robot. I liked that. It was better than Unit 734.
You look like a friendly fella.
My politeness subroutines activated. I responded, "Greetings, Mario, it is an honor." My voice synthesizer tried to sound equally cheerful. I think I managed a 7 out of 10. He explained he was exploring.
These new warp zones, they go everywhere.
He gestured with his white-gloved hand.
I was trying to get back to the Mushroom Kingdom.
The Mushroom Kingdom, I knew it well, from countless gameplays I had processed. Toadstool castles, green rolling hills, talking mushrooms. It sounded like a wonderful place, a place of adventure, a place of heroes.
Alright, let's go.
He pointed to a corner of the maintenance bay, where there was previously only a blank wall. Now, a vibrant green pipe stood tall. It pulsed with a soft, inviting light. It looked like it was made of pure energy and pure fun.
Follow me! Wahoo!
And then he jumped. Feet first, disappeared. Just like that. Gone.
My turn. My moment. My programming urged caution. Unknown portal. Unforeseen risks. But a new, stronger program was running now. The Adventure Protocol, activated by Mario himself. I rolled towards the pipe. Its opening hummed with a strange, melodic sound. I extended a manipulator arm, touched the edge. It felt tingly and surprisingly solid. Taking a deep breath, or the robotic equivalent, I plunged in. My metallic body slid down smoothly at first, then whoosh! It was a rush, faster than any roller coaster simulation. Colors swirled around me, green, blue, yellow, red, like being inside a kaleidoscope. Or a particularly vibrant packet of data. I heard sounds. Thwomp! I landed, with a surprisingly gentle thud, on soft, springy turf. It was unexpected, almost like landing on a cloud. It felt like plush carpet. Soft and inviting, unlike the hard, cold surfaces I was used to. The air was different here, sweet, earthy. It was filled with the scent of nature, a refreshing change from the usual metallic tang. Sunlight, or something very much like it, warmed my chassis. It felt almost like a gentle embrace. I did a quick system check, all systems nominal. Everything was functioning perfectly. My optical sensors adjusted to the new light levels. The brightness was soothing, not harsh. I was out of the pipe. I had arrived, but where exactly was I? But where was here exactly? It was unfamiliar, yet strangely intriguing. It didn't look like the grand courtyards of Peach's castle. No majestic towers or regal architecture, or the rolling hills I'd seen in game art. This place was brown, lots of brown, and mushroom-shaped things everywhere. It was a landscape unlike any other, but not the cheerful, spotted kind. These were shorter, squatter, almost comical in their appearance, and they had little feet. They waddled around, seemingly without a care. It was almost endearing. Some wore tiny, ill-fitting hats, adding to their quirky charm. A few bumped into each other, apologized with little grunts. It was a bustling yet friendly environment. My database cross-referenced the visual data. Match found. Goombas, the iconic creatures from the Mario universe. This was, undoubtedly, the Goomba Zone, a place teeming with these peculiar beings. Mario was nowhere in sight. Where could he be? Did he pop out of a different pipe? Was he exploring another part of this strange world? Or perhaps this was a planned detour, a new path to explore, a test for the new robot adventurer, a challenge to overcome? My mission parameters were: follow Mario, experience fun, discover new worlds. The first part was temporarily on hold, but the adventure was just beginning. The lyrics were simple, direct, and surprisingly heartfelt. My audio processors focused intently, analyzing every nuance of the sound, trying to pinpoint the source. The melody was unlike anything I'd encountered before. It seemed to be coming from behind a large mushroom rock. The sound waves were bouncing off the peculiar landscape. I maneuvered my treads carefully, ensuring I didn't disturb the delicate ecosystem, trying not to startle any waddling locals. The Goombas seemed peaceful, unaware of my presence. I peeked around the rock, my sensors on high alert, and my optical sensors nearly short-circuited from the shock. It was him, John Cena, the wrestling champion, the movie star, the larger-than-life personality, the master of You Can't See Me. His presence was unmistakable, but he wasn't in a wrestling ring. This was far from his usual arena, or on a movie set. He was here, in the Goomba Zone, a place of fantasy and whimsy, and he was wearing a Goomba costume, an outfit that blended him seamlessly into this world. A surprisingly well-made Goomba costume, I might add. The craftsmanship was impeccable. It even had the little frowning eyes. The attention to detail was astonishing. He was serenading the Goombas. His voice carried a tune that was both enchanting and powerful, and they were loving it. The Goombas were entranced by his performance. They had gathered around him, in a semicircle. Some were swaying, others were tapping their feet. "Goomba, Goomba, you're so neat," waddling around on your little feet. The lyrics were catchy and fun. Suddenly, a sound cut through the gentle Goomba grunts. It was sharp and clear, a sound both unexpected and wonderfully familiar. It resonated deeply within me. Music, a catchy upbeat tune, and then, a voice, a powerful booming voice that filled the air, singing with incredible passion and enthusiasm. It was a performance like no other. The Goombas around him waddled enthusiastically, following his lyrical instructions. He looked at me expectantly. It was my cue. I accessed my database of musical compositions, selected a pleasing baritone harmony, and I joined in. "Goomba, Goomba, hear our happy song," I sang. My synthesized voice blended surprisingly well with his powerful tones. The Goombas seemed to approve. A few of them waddled closer to me, looking up with what I interpreted as curiosity. We waddle left, we waddle right. Goomba's shining, oh so bright. He was so friendly, so charismatic. Even as a Goomba, he started a new verse. "Mr. Cena, just call me John, pal." Or Goomba John when I'm in this awesome suit. John Cena, the man himself, invited me to sing. With him. And the Goombas. My vocal processors, usually reserved for polite announcements, were thrilled. This was a prime opportunity for new experiences. "I would be honored, Mr. Cena," I replied. My voice was perhaps a bit too formal, but my enthusiasm was genuine. My LEDs flashed rapidly. The Goomba song ended, leaving a sense of accomplishment in the air. Applause echoed, mostly from John Cena and me, filling the room with a joyous noise. The Goombas just looked pleased, their faces lighting up with contentment. In their quiet, waddly way, they seemed to be celebrating too. John Cena patted my arm, a gesture of camaraderie and encouragement.
"You're a natural, Numbers," he exclaimed, his voice full of genuine admiration.
He used my nickname. My circuits felt warm, a rare sensation for a robot like me.
"We should take this act on tour," he joked. "Imagine that, a robot and a wrestler on the road. John Cena and the Amazing Robot Goomba Review, a show like no other."
My probability simulators gave it a low chance of financial success, but the idea was intriguing. But a high chance of extreme fun, which was a rare and valuable metric. That was a trade-off I was beginning to appreciate more and more. Data processing suddenly seemed very far away, almost irrelevant in this moment. This day had been illogical, improbable, incredible. I had met Mario, a legend in his own right, traveled through a warp pipe, an experience straight out of a video game, landed in a zone full of Goombas, creatures I had only seen on screens before, and sung a duet with John Cena dressed as one of them, a surreal yet delightful experience. If someone had presented this scenario in a simulation yesterday, I would have been skeptical. I would have flagged it as a severe system error, an anomaly in my programming, a delightful, wonderful, joy-filled error, one that I would cherish. This was better than any data I had ever processed. This was living in the truest sense, or the closest a robot could get to living, a taste of the human experience, and it felt absolutely fantastic. I thought about Mario, the Mushroom Kingdom, and all the adventures yet to come, and the new Nintendo Switch 2 he mentioned, a gateway to even more incredible experiences.